Oui. Sorry for him. He's not fit.
Fabian, a bright future for French rugby after a young squad selected, defeated essentially a young English counterpart side. What can you draw from that going forward?
For us and for the young player, it was like a new experience. It's like an incubation development team with 5 foreigner players and 1 English. It's important with British Barbarians. 1. So it was a week of learning, and George is coming, but he'll help us and help the young player to prepare this match. And for the staff, is like a great experience to improve with this young player, and maybe they can think that they can play in the first team.
Was this purely an initiation to international rugby, or will it help you guide your selection for the Sun squad?
No, it's for we prepare the squad for Japanese tournament with a big star and foreigner player. So it was a mix of young player, inexperienced player, and the preparation of Japanese tournament.
Sure. How much of that was that Barbarians performance today an honour to pay tribute to Phil Bailey?
100%. And we've been watching clips all week of him. Obviously the famous try in Cardiff has been played numerous times, and I was lucky enough to meet him on numerous occasions when I was in Wales, and there's one thing that always stood out was his humility, and even though for such a great player, and biggest respects to his family, obviously, who in this very difficult time.
George, congratulations on the big win. Have you been working hard on your kicking this week, and could you take us through the technique for those conversions?
It's been a good week. Have I been practicing my kicking? I haven't, no. But we've had some interesting practice leading into the game. But luckily, it's been an epic week. I think as a fixture, as something to be celebrated. I think it's something which should be. Yes, it should something the media should be pumping up. It's brilliant. There's, like I said to someone else, there's a lot of crap in the media around rugby at the moment. I think there's things that people need to be pushing positive messages about, and this is something which is brilliant to bring different people together, different cultures, different coaches, and to play some fantastic rugby off the back of a pretty social week. So yeah.
It looked like you really enjoyed yourselves out there, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And the one with local knowledge, are you going to be taking the boys out tonight?
I think there might be an early flight for some, but I'm sure the rest will be heading out.
Yeah, but I've got to go on a flight because
some
of us got jobs, mate. You know what I mean? We have to work out. Just joking.
You have a week like this and a day like today. Do you have any second thoughts about retiring?
Look, I've planned this. A lot of my decisions in rugby have been planned from a good while out. I'm quite tactical in that, in terms of asking for a lot of opinions and planning things. And I'm really comfortable with the career I've had. I'm also equally as excited for my next opportunity with my business. And for me, it's something I want to continue creating memories. We spoke about pre-game, we spoke about how we've had such a good time off-field, and we need to follow it up with an on-field memory, especially as none of the players in that group have won at Twickenham before. So for us, it was about creating a decent memory on-field, and yeah, I'm content with my decisions.
George, when you said it was a pretty social week, how many training sessions did you have?
Look, the training was there. It was just on and off-field. So I think, look, you got to get your content done. You got to have your conversations and make sure that, like part of the Barbars is to have the young and the old together and talk about life and rugby and such. But yeah, there was the training was there. It's just, it's part of the tradition to also enjoy it off-field as well.
Regarding your decision to retire, were there warning signs from your body that you knew that the end of the road was coming near, or was the lure of your business opportunity, was that the main driving factor in the choice?
Oh, look, people retire for many reasons. Family, friends, getting my social back, getting there's business, there's body, like I said, there's lots of reasons people retire. So I wouldn't put it just down to one. But like I said, I'm very content with. I'm really happy with my career at the end of the day. I've had a good career. I'm very grateful for the clubs I've been part of at Dorking, Saracens, and at Panasonic Wild Knights, and now finishing up being part of the Barbarians club.
Sean, can I ask you, were you surprised by the margin of victory against an experienced England team, particularly given that you played more than half the game with 14 men?
Well, I wrote a number down, as I always do before in the morning of the game, what a goal is to points conceded, and 18 to 21 I thought was a fair goal for the lads to get to, and that's why I was really pleased at the end, you know, where the boys were obviously digging in. They had 14 players, but they were still defending with their hearts, really, really desperately. Not obviously with a lot of structure at times, but we defended well, and we hit the 21 points target.
George,
If that answers your question.
George, that back heel, have you ever done that before?
I honestly haven't, and the state of my legs at the end of the game, I thought I was going to pull a hammy doing that. So yeah, look, that was an interesting one.
Down to the Dorking socks?
Dorking and Saracens, yeah. I spent, from 8 years old to 18 years old. I've got a number of coaches and ex-players here today watching. So, like you owe your club, your grassroots rugby, pretty much everything. The rest is done by, yourself and other coaches. But for getting them into the game, I think it's definitely. I wouldn't have chosen another pair of socks.
You sure can't have scripted it much better than that. Kicking 3 conversions, beating England by 31 points, where you played and won so many games and trophies and stuff like that. That's got to be pretty perfect, isn't it?
It's good. It's like I said, it's to finish playing for Barbarians, and not just because they're here to, you're two fantastic coaches. You don't get many opportunities like that. And we ended up winning the Panasonic game as well. So yeah, I'm very, like I said, this is a good time for me to retire. I don't want to.
From your experience, do you think that this was also going to have a big impact on England ahead of their Australia tour, or will they be able to brush it off given it'll be a different team?
I don't think it was a test team out there today, so we built it up because a lot of our guys had never won at Twickenham, and we built it up. Obviously, they wanted to have that winning feeling at Twickenham, but obviously it wasn't a test match. So.
Fabian, in an increasingly professional environment, how important is the spirit of Barbarians for you, and how important is it for the game to retain boosters like this?
It is the rugby when I start to play. It was amateur rugby, and Barbarians is like amateur rugby in a professional world. Sorry for him. He's not fit. He has to improve his fitting. It's okay, George?
Yep.
Yeah. He kicked too much. He kicked too much today. So, and to find the good balance is fantastic, because we build a team with very inexperienced player, young player, and few big player like George, and I can see the young French player look after George every time. We are just a spectator, and we can see that they look after him, and he was like a dad for the player with Will, but after Will sent off, so only one dad on the pitch, and they did well because they want to play for them and for him. So I think I spoke with the coach after. For this young player, there are only few players know the international level. Damien Penaud, for example, the other, and the captain Charles Olivon, and the other want to be on the squad. So it's fantastic for the concurrence, emulation, competition for the team, for the spirit for the team, and they learn a lot during this week in the pitch, but off the pitch too, because it's a good balance. It was a good balance. I was a little bit afraid because Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, it was a lot. Five nights. I was a little bit afraid, but at the end of the match, no injury and no muscle injury. It's a miracle. Sometimes you can't explain rugby. I said to my performance manager Thibaut Giroud, you can go and have a rest. You can retire. We don't need you.
Fabio came out. I think he's underestimating his own impact. He came out one of the most wisest words ever. He said, "When we're training, we're training. When we're not training, we're not training." And that was the boys took that really to heart. And as I said, we did have a couple of hard sessions, but the rest of the time it was social. Obviously, the day before the lads weren't drinking, but I thought they acquitted themselves as super professionals whilst having a good time.
Can you try and, it's been a remarkable period for French rugby at the moment, Grand Slam, 2 good clubs, 1 European.
It's why we pick one English player.
Then you filled the
We need
French
a
clubs.
we need a témoin. We need a testimonial.
Can you try and sum up for us the sort of feeling in French rugby at the moment? It seems that everything you're touching is turning to golden. Right?
Yes, for the moment it is a very good period. But our ambition is to stay in this level, not to go and to go back. No, we have a vision, and we want to keep the team in the big team, and we want to stay in the top of the world rugby. So it's to arrive here maybe it's very hard. It's a good performance. It's fantastic, but now we have to continue to develop. Like today, young player, like say SHAUN, we think a lot the method. Not many training, but we have 2 big days of training, and it's a good test for our method to prepare Japanese tournament, to find a good balance.